General's office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Our business hours are 7:45 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, excluding state holidays. For scams, frauds, or consumer complaints against a business, please press 1 to be connected to the Consumer Assistance Program. For employment discrimination complaints, job protected leave questions, or civil remedies for victims of hate crimes, please press 2 to be connected to the Civil Rights Intake line. For all other matters, please press 3 and someone will assist you, or you may leave in after hours.
Wait while I transfer your call.
You've reached the Attorney General's office voicemail. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and your call will be returned as soon as possible. Thank you.
That was bogus. The Attorney General is trying to screen calls for the state of Vermont. That's not good. That means that they're not there to serve and protect. They're just there to be money takers. Let's see here. Recent.
Thank you for calling the Attorney General's office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Thank you for calling the Consumer Assistance Program of the Vermont Attorney General's office. If you're trying to reach the Attorney General's main office, please call 802-828-3171, extension 0. If you're calling to report a scam, please press 1. If you'd like to learn about our consumer complaint mediation service or how to file a complaint with our office, please press 2. If you'd like to speak to a representative of the Consumer Assistance Program, please press 3.
Wait while I transfer your call.
Thank you for calling the Vermont Attorney General's Consumer Assistance Program. Currently, all of our staff are either unavailable or on the phone with consumers. If you would like a call back from a member of the Consumer Assistance Program, please leave your name, phone number, and a brief description about the situation you are calling about. We will return your call in the...
They were screening calls again.
Thank you for calling the Attorney General's office. If this is an emergency, please hang...
Wait
Dialing
while I
0.
transfer your call.
Dialing 0 to the Attorney General's office.
Office, how may I direct your call?
Hey, miss. I was just calling today to inform the Attorney General's office about something happening in Norwich, Vermont. I don't know how you could direct my call because I don't know whether or not the call will even be answered because the screening of calls with the machines, it denies the right to remain anonymous, and it also denies the right to adequate service, as it provides that the person that you're trying to get in contact with, you leave a name and a number, and then they call you back when they want to instead of when you need to talk to them. But that's not your problem, and I'm not here to talk to you about that right now. I'm here to talk to the Attorney General about Norwich, Vermont committing fraud.
Okay, I'd be happy to take any detailed information that you can provide to me, and you do not have to provide your identity to me. I would not be able to connect you directly to the Attorney General.
Yeah.
But I can take any information that you can offer.
Okay, I would like to offer some information. Notice to agents, notice to primary, notice primaries, notice to agents. So I will utilize that service that you're providing right now, where you're saying you'll take inventory of some of the issues and then relate them to somebody, which is a good service. Thank you, miss.
Okay.
There's a video on YouTube right now about no cameras allowed, Norwich, Vermont town hall, and for the issue that I have is not with the no cameras allowed, but that is a big issue because the people have a right, due to the what do you call it, full disclosure, transparency, and accountability issues. The people have a right to access public information, and they have a right to record their public service agents in the course of their public duties, so that there can be more transparency. And we're kind of living in a day and age where cameras are everywhere now, and we can be recorded on 3 different cameras, even if we don't think we're being recorded on one. It's just the day and age that we live in. And there was this guy who took the cameras down to the Norwich, Vermont town hall, and his issue was that they had like little fraudulent, like printed up no cameras allowed signs on the public building, which was misleading the public into thinking that they wouldn't be able to hold their county or their town officials accountable to full disclosure. But my problem with the video, I mean not with the video, but with the employees down there at the town hall, was that there was a records department there, and I think they were calling it the records place the vault. And they were saying to keep the vault open, they were charging $1 per page for public information. It's already the public's information. The public shouldn't have to be buying it back from these service agents. These service agents are there to serve for the sole benefit of the people, and not that for agent or agency. It would be a violation of 5 CFR 2635.101, basic obligations of public service, to attempt to charge a fee for public information. That'd be an act of private gain for agent or agency. The lady in the video even claims, she says she's retiring soon, and the guy makes mention, oh, you're not resigning like the rest of them? And she says that she's retiring. She says that it's $1 per page for information, which that can add up real good. If there's 7 pages, I have to pay $7. That's not right. Freedom of Information Act is a provision of law regulating his or her official conduct in this nation, and they would be violating that provision of law that regulates his or her official conduct by taking the public information and then selling it back to the public. And the videographer even makes note. I believe that's around the 5-minute mark, 6:10, 6:07. She describes why they're charging. I could play the little snippet for you.
Actually, I was going to see if maybe I could find it.
It's on YouTube. It says
it's all
there's
public record.
What's the title?
the title. It says there's asterisks. It says no cameras, and then there's another asterisk, and then it says allowed. It says Norwich.
Press New Hampshire now.
It may be.
Okay.
I don't know the guy privately, but I don't know the guy privately, so I don't know exactly if that's this Press NH now, but that's what it appears to be.
Okay.
This.
Yeah, I just meant that on the YouTube page.
Okay.
As well.
Well, somewhere around.
I have it here.
Okay, somewhere around 6 minutes, this lady is describing the amount that they're charging people for public records and why they're charging people for public records. She says to keep the vault open, and the Press NH Now or whatever his name is, I guess he puts in don't the taxes pay for that? And that's right. That's just. I believe that to be true. That because due to the Freedom of Information Act, we have a right to we're privy to that public information. It's actually the public's information, not that of the public service agent attempting to sell that information back to the public. And I believe that that's fraud. And I think that I don't think that it's a thing where people should get in trouble, or those employed persons. They should not. I don't think that they should get in trouble. I mean, maybe they should. If Vermont finds something that's so egregious that these people need to be in trouble for their act in doing this, but I think that they could be retrained. I think that they could be educated on the public's right to the public information, and that's exactly why they're custodial of that information. The public has paid taxes so that these people would keep these records, so that the public could go in there and get these records. If your neighbor down the street gets harmed by a member of the employment for Vermont, the people should be able to go down there and get these records to show that the comings and goings of what happened to their neighbor, and that's exactly why the public has enacted this provision. It's very important, and the state of Vermont, when I contacted the Norwich, Vermont Town Hall, the police department down there, Norwich Police Department told me that they couldn't do anything. They told me contact the state of Vermont, which I did. I contacted, it says Vermont State House, Montpelier, Vermont, and they told me contact VSP, which is Vermont State Police. Vermont State Police told me to contact Attorney General. Same with the State House, the Vermont State House. But the thing is about it is that no attorney, it don't matter if it's a state attorney or anyone, they cannot tell the public that this is okay treatment by these Norwich employees. Norwich agents should not be taking public information and then attempting to sell that public information back to the public. The reason why these provisions were enacted was because you are supposed to have equal protection under the law, and charging somebody fees puts a barrier between that public information and the public. It's putting a term and condition on a right that we already have secured by the posterity of this country.
Right, yeah. The record access itself should always be free. That is my understanding as well.
Yeah.
But have you reached out to, I will pass this along, certainly, but I also wondered if you had reached out to your Windsor County State's Attorney's Office as well. I don't know how much the Attorney General is going to be able to do about that kind of situation, because we don't typically have jurisdiction over individual towns.
Well,
usually the chain goes, the town's select board, then it would go to the state's attorney's and sheriff's office.
Okay, I would understand that.
For each county.
The thing.
It's kind of like walking up a chain of command, essentially.
Yeah, but this chain of command is essentially another barrier being placed between the public and their rights and liberties. I mean, what you're describing is that the Attorney General for the state of Vermont can't do anything about somebody acting within the state of Vermont, and that is just wholly, I'm not saying that you're lying or anything. I'm just saying that piece of information is a misinformed piece of information, being that these are agencies like this. What is it? Norwich. Norwich is a place in our country, but the town of Norwich is a agency conducting themselves within the state of Vermont, and that's definitely jurisdiction of either the State House of Vermont, the Attorney General of Vermont, and I believe even the VSP, because Vermont State Police even attempted to try to tell me that that was not their jurisdiction, that I would have to go through the Norwich Police Department, of which I've already done prior to that. They're the ones that told me to go to the State House, Vermont State, and so basically the Vermont State, the Norwich Police Department sloughed the problem off onto the state of Vermont, and then upon contacting the state of Vermont sloughed the problem off onto Vermont State Police, and then contacting Vermont State Police, they sloughed the problem off onto the Attorney General for Vermont. And I believe that each and every one of these agencies are most certainly in charge of conducting provisions of law regulating his or her official conduct within the state of Vermont. And these are all provisions that are upheld by the executive branch of the United States government, federal executive branch, not the state Vermont executive branch, but the actual federal executive branch for the state of, or for the United States of America. But plus, the Vermont state executive branch should also be trying to put a stop to this issue. I think that I'm not calling today to try to get anybody in trouble. I'm calling today because I want to see some proactive. Things happen towards this issue. This lady, I don't know if she was trained that way, or whether she's doing that to, like the cameraman said, put the money in her pocket. But I believe that this lady is wrong nonetheless, and she should be either retrained, and that this shall never happen again. Charging fees, USD, for public records that are already the public's. And then, this is so that Donald Trump or Joe Biden couldn't just pay their way out of their badness. That even the poorest people in our country are supposed to have access to these records. Mm-hmm. And you've already expressed that you understand that, which is awesome, Miss. I want to thank you for taking the time to hear me out today, and I hope that something does get done about this. Both trying to put up those fraudulent signs to say no recording in the public office, that's fraud. That's trying to mislead the public into thinking that they don't have the authority to record in their public office. And then on top of it, they're charging for public fees.
Right.
This isn't just a Vermont issue. I mean, this is an issue because in the past, the public service agents didn't have all these cameras there holding them accountable, but now they do, and they're sitting there trying to scramble as to how they're going to keep committing these acts without getting caught. And I think that the acts just need to stop before anybody gets caught. I don't think that I don't think that these employees should be getting caught and getting in trouble. I think that they should be getting caught and getting re-educated, retrained on how to not let this happen in the future. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I understand. Yeah, so I will, I've taken a bunch of notes of what you've told me, and I've also got the video, so I will certainly pass this along to the Attorney General. And, I really was only asking about the other agencies just to make sure that, I know it sounds like you've been passed around a bunch.
If I see crime...
Because it's not very clear how to, whose wheelhouse that falls into. So I will do what I can. And is there anything else that I could maybe look into for you? Or
well, I was just going to say that if I see crime happening, I have a duty to stop it. Even if I'm not law enforcement or anybody. If I see something happening, it's my civic duty. It's for me to just walk away and allow crime to happen would be... it's an egregious act. You should never walk away and just let things happen. And in the video, the guy, whoever's doing the video, takes the signs down. He doesn't remove the signs from the premises, but he takes the signs down And I just want to add that that was a very righteous thing for him to do. It was a very keen initiative of him to do, to not allow this Norwich, I believe, to sit there and try to... it's almost like it's an obstruction of justice. When the people are using their cameras in that building for their own safety and their own transparency so that they can make their town of Norwich better, and then these egregious employees, these agents of the state, attempt to sway them from conducting their lawful activity, that's a problem. And I believe that it was very honorable of that man to try to take down those egregious signs that are trying to tell the public that they have no right to video in that public building, of which they have a right guaranteed and secured.
Right.
So,
I understand.
So,
Absolutely.
I think that maybe the state of Vermont, like the Attorney General or something, if they seen that and made a mention towards the public, a public mention towards this builds the trust of the public. Like when Norwich sees that there's a public announcement made that sorry, the staff at the Norwich Town Hall, they were uneducated. They didn't they might not have been intending to do this to the public, but they shall not do this to the public anymore. We're making a note of this. This is our public announcement that says that we're going to cease this and not let this attempt to happen again. That's when you do that as the Attorney General, you show the public that they can trust you. It's a leap and a bound, and then that gains prestige for the Attorney General. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for bringing this to our attention. I hope you have a good day.
You too. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.